Hello guys, and welcome to episode 40 of my Civilization Beyond Earth playthrough, playing as Brasilia using the Purity Affinity. And today we're going to be finishing off the Kavithans once and for all. I don't think I'm going to give them peace, and then we can move on to finishing off the Slavs as well as starting the war with the Pan-Asians. I am going to be wanting to take over Tiangong sooner than later so we can actually complete the campaign. So anyway, before we do any of that, let's choose a production in Asrea. And there we will build a clinic as soon as we can. I'm going to move this Centurion actually towards Genelai. And then what I'm going to do is make that Centurion use the phasal transporter toward the Pan-Asians. This Dragoon on the other side of Uzbek I might use to take over Svatoy, but in the meantime I'm going to fortify that until healed along with that Dragoon as well. My Predator can sit on air interception in Krabrost, and my battle suit in Stanimir can get ready to attack Svatoy. Going to keep out of range of Svatoy in the meantime though, until we have some ranged units in order to take that over. I can use this Zhiknik to attack in this turn, so I am going to probably target this Chu Aegis because it will take more damage. And I think that's all of the important messages covered. So let's move on to the next turn. Couple more units to move. The Centurion here can phasal transport toward Neoten. There we go. And this true battle suit can fortify. And that is all, so we can move on. Let's see what Kavitha does to defend her last city. Not very much. And Elodie insulting me. Very well. Pretty sure she can't really talk right now, since her last settlement is being sieged. As long as a melee unit doesn't attack Isajiknik, we're more or less fine to keep that defended. Looks like my air interception is finally paying off as they are trying to attack my ground forces. Predator's taking a lot of damage. Isajiknik still being attacked even though it is on no health whatsoever. Amparo is also taking a beating. Looks like there's going to be a lot to do this turn. Plenty of production choices, that's for sure. So in Cittadella, let's work on a holosuite. In Fiel, we will work on a Zena Sanctuary. In Burdura, I probably want a Zena Sanctuary as well. At Rahi, we would like a field reactor possibly. Although possibly building a civil crash here would be better to boost the growth of that settlement. At Masego, what do I want to get? What does this Neo-Planetarium do? Plus 40% production for orbital units. We could get a nanopasture, plus 10% energy from the city. Or we could start building another military unit here. I think what I'm going to do is get a Devastator. I don't have enough floatstone to keep building more Lev destroyers, so building Devastators instead is probably a good compromise. That way at least I can still siege settlements, and they do have bonuses versus settlements. I'm going to get a Devastator at Gran Exeter as well. And at Fiel, we will also get a Devastator. That will only actually take 2 turns to build, which is really good. In Krabrost, it's only going to take 2 turns to create an Alien Preserve, so I think I might go for that. At Ainsa, we will work on the thorium reactor, plus 5 energy, always good as well. Our energy income continuously needs to be bolstered so that I can actually support the numerous units I'm now building. Anyway, let's increase the discipline of this Dragoon, and I'm going to keep it on Fortify until healed. Let's see if we can take care of this True Lev Destroyer. It would be good to get that out of the way. I can hit it with the battle suit, which I'm going to do first. Then I can hit it with the Dragoon. I'm not sure if this is going to destroy it, but we'll soon find out. It did. So good job there. Gets rid of a very significant unit. Now let's start attacking Konechno with the True Lev tank. The Aegis moved out of range of Isachiknik, so I might have to use Isachiknik to attack the Devastator. But we've been moved over to move this Warden, so let's head that into a settlement where we can. I can only do Esreya, so let's move this True Battlesuit out and fortify that until healed. I can move the Warden in there and I can phasal transport it towards the Pan-Asians in the next turn. At least that's the plan. It would also be good to get all my True Lev Destroyers toward the Pan-Asians as soon as possible, because we really need just Tiangong in order to win the game. And I don't really want to mess around. I'm going to phasal transport this Warden over here now. And we'll get this Battlesuit to head over to the other side as well. Move on that True Battlesuit. Bring this one over from Citadella. Not much point in phasal transporting that. Going to move this Battlesuit round to free up some of these phasal transport tiles. That Centurion can just fortify. And this Dragoon can start heading round as well. So I'm not sure how many True Lev Destroyers I'm going to need to take over Syra. It does have a combat strength of 132, but the hit points of the settlement aren't actually that high. I lie, they are very high. 203. It's better than pretty much every settlement I have my hands on. So that could be a tough nut to crack. Maybe I should keep moving up the Lev Destroyers then. Let's get this Lev tank into position as well. Lev Destroyers can start to fire away. Unless I should take out this Carver first. I think I'll do that, just to make sure I get rid of it. And I can attack the settlement with that True Lev Destroyer. And this one isn't in range because it's not full health, so I'm going to fortify it until healed. Make sure that carries out its attack, and I'm going to move the Battlesuit into melee range. Let's get this Dragoon. Head off towards the Pan-Asians. And this one next to Konechno. I can either use it to take out the Saber or the Devastator. And what I think I'm going to use it for is to kill the Devastator. Now I'm going to attack the Devastator with the settlement first, just to guarantee the kill onto that unit. Going to automate that worker, and maybe this Dragoon can come across. No, it can't. It's not going to be in range. What about this True Battlesuit? No. I am going to move up that True Battlesuit anyway, and I can get the Dragoon next to Konechno as well. Move up this True Battlesuit. Not sure if I want to put it on that tile, but I'm going to anyway. And we have another Dragoon at Krabrost. Maybe I should bring that down towards Vatoy. We don't really have many units assaulting that. And that should do nicely. I think that's everything done for this turn. No significant messages. Just another unit to move. Centurion. I'll send that towards Vatoy, I think, along with this Dragoon. So let's move this Devastator up. I'll use it to take out this orbital laser. It's been harassing one of my cities, so it's good that we've got rid of that. Move forward this Dragoon to help take over Syra, and now all is done. So this Lev Destroyer going to continually take a beating from the Saber. The Saber's actually quite long range when they've been set up. I think they have 3 range, 3 tile range, so they can actually fire back at the true Lev Destroyers from the city. Franco-Iberians though, holding strong, building Lev tanks. Now my Centurion acting as the meat shield. Enemy air bombardment's going to be stopped by the looks of things, but the Centurion unit's still going to die to the Carver. Enemy Predators getting themselves shot down. Unfortunately, we had ran out of air interceptions, so that one broke through, and it looks like my Dragoon's going to take a beating as well. So what's really good about this is the Pan-Asians are wasting a lot of resources on the Franco-Iberians at the moment. So when I actually attack the Pan-Asians, what we'll probably find is they won't have many military forces defending straight away. Anyway, let's get this Warden Phasal transported toward Nirten, along with this Centurion from Genelai. The Warden in Cersei. I want to phasal transport that over here, but I need to move some units out of the way. So we'll get the true battle suit to head northward. That will free up a couple of tiles. I can move this Warden down. And then when we get the order to move that Warden again, I can now phasal transport it up. Let's get my units to attack Svatoy. Going to hit it with every Dragoon I have and then the battle suit. And Svatoy should be ours. Good, let's annex that back. And we can work from there. So I'm going to move this true battle suit onward to take out the Saber. I'm going to hit the Carver with the true Lev tank. Oh, that left it on such low health. Let's finish that off with a Dragoon. And I'm going to move this Dragoon onward a tile. Going to actually move this true battle suit back, I think, so it doesn't get attacked by Kuzma again. And now I'm going to fortify until heal this Dragoon. To get it back to full health, I'm going to bring this one round to Konechno. And let's see how much damage we can do to Syra this turn. We can hit it with a couple of ranged attacks. That true battlesuit can jump into Asreya and phasal transport to the Pan-Asians. This Warden can go too. And this true battlesuit 3. There we go. We have another Warden. I guess I'm just going to have to walk that one this turn. Unless it's worth putting that over near the Kerr, I might actually do that, because currently we only have 2 battlesuits defending that side. I got a Dragoon to head over there. Will only take a couple of turns, so may as well just move it along the mag rail. I'm just going to fortify until healed that true battlesuit. That one can fortify on the border there. I'll move this Dragoon up from Pembella maybe, or... Actually, let's move it toward the Russians or Slavs. So I'm going to phasal transport it to Serek. I'm going to do the same with this Devastator. And that way, we actually have some artillery to take over these settlements. So at Santo Adrio, I'm going to work on a Zen Sanctuary. It's actually only going to take 1 turn. Definitely worth doing. The same at Manuel. And at Boris Branza, again, the same. Don't know why they're taking such little time. Definitely worth working on, nonetheless. Now at Freeland, I'm going to probably go for another military unit. Let's get another Devastator building. At Pembella we'll get a Dragoon. At Cersei, let's get a Battlesuit. And at Svatoy, we'll work on a Gene Garden as soon as we can. So the Centurion got here in the end, a bit late. Just going to move him on. Need to get this True Lev Destroyer onto a tile in range. So I'm going to actually move this True Lev Destroyer back and this one forward because it's full health. Going to get this Dragoon adjacent to Syra. Can attack this turn, but I'm not going to. And this unit needs to fortify until healed. So we'll set that up. It should heal a little bit from the miasma anyway, I think. Unfortunately, my units are weakened at the moment because of the negative float stone. I'm not sure why that keeps occurring. What I might have to do is delete one of my Lev Destroyers. Just so that I regain the effectiveness. Another Predator shot down. That's good. Getting rid of their air presence. And bioengineering is complete.
If it's a sin to play God, then why would he leave his tools lying around?
Have a few new building options now. Let's go through the production choices. Molecular Forge. 5 food and 10% science. Wow. Let's go for that. Definitely a good thing. Now what we also need to focus on is our energy. We are currently minus 50 per turn. That's actually quite spectacular. Especially considering how well we're doing at the moment. Let's get xenofuel plants where we can, just to make the energy income a bit more bearable. But meanwhile, I am going to continue building molecular forces as well. Or forges, sorry, not forces. We'll get a molecular forge in Brasilia as well, and one in Central. So these will help my settlements grow even faster. It will give them more population, which means they can work more tiles. I'm going to work on a xenofuel plant in New Hope. I think it's pretty important that I start working on those as where I can now. In Berat, I guess we're going to keep building military units here. So let's get a true battle suit. At Serek, a molecular forge. Fidel. I'm going to get a dragoon. Krabrost. Let's get a field reactor. Taintsa. A field reactor as well. And we need to choose a new research. So let's follow the recommendations of culture, if there is any. Doesn't look like there is. I think the reason I did bioengineering was to get industrial ecology next. +1 production from farm improvements would be really nice. And also the +1 energy from mine improvements. Also pretty nice. I'm actually going to go with that first. And basically what that means is I'll get a ton of extra energy, pretty much. So veterancy gain for this dragoon. Let's give that discipline. Going to fortify that until healed. Same with that one and that one. This dragoon that has newly joined us can move down towards Kuzma. Before I do any of those movements, I'm actually going to start bombarding Konechno. Maybe we can start attacking it with these dragoons as well. It says it's a safe attack. Not quite sure if I trust that, but either way it's too late now. Let's take out this beacon. Going to give this true battle suit new recruits and keep it on fortified until healed. Going to automate that worker, and is it now time to declare war on the Pan-Asians? I think it is. Let's go for it. We have so many military units here now. Their cities are very strong, but I think we have enough units to swarm them. So what I'm going to do is just move all these dragoons in. We'll take over near 10 first. Make sure my wardens get into range as soon as possible. Any melee units can try and get ahead, but I don't want them to block the way of my wardens. The trade convoys are going to need rerouting, so this could get really tedious, so bear with me guys. I need to find a new trade partner, and I think the only one will probably be Kesam Patan. Although I'm kind of glad I left the African Union alive, because it allows me to trade with Thabo. Let's do that. Every trade convoy will trade with Thabo. Look how much we went in the red now. Minus 353. That's just because all our trade convoys can't trade anymore. Now can this Lev Destroyer actually hit Syra? No, it can't. So I'm going to have to move that up onto that tile. I'm going to actually delete this unit. And that's going to put us back into positive floatstone. The reason I did that was because it was the only damaged one. Let's hit Syra with everything we've got. We might be able to take it over. I think we can. Kavithans are destroyed.
The body may fail, but our spirit never.
We're going to annex the city. And we'll work on an old Earth relic there once we can. Now, some of these units can actually move on and join up with the assault from Uzbek and Svatoy. So I'm going to get this Lev tank to continue across, along with these true battle suits. But all of these Lev destroyers I'm going to send up to the Pan-Asians. That's my main priority. Going to trade with the African Union from now on. This might take a little while. There are just so many trade convoys I'm going to have to do. You think, what is that? 8 per trade route? And it's about 300 worth. It's a lot of trade convoys to reroute. It's the only bad thing later in the game about using trade. It can take time. They have made it a lot better by introducing the fact that the trade routes automatically renew. But still, this is extremely tedious. There should be like another button that allows you to set it as either automatically picking the best international trade route or like national trade route. So, for example, at the top here, you can either choose the best trade route in your nation or international. So, I'm not sure quite how they'd work that out because both science and energy are calculated separately, but maybe that could be an option. I don't know. Anyway, it's gonna be really annoying to do, as there are so many of them. So don't mind me while I continue to go through this. Kind of have to stop ourselves going bankrupt. If we continue at what, like minus 250 a turn, it's not going to be too long until we can't support our troops anymore. There are a few military units amongst all these trade routes that we still have to move, so I am going to get that Dragoon underway, but as you can see it goes straight back to all of the trade convoys. We're going to make the African Union so rich right now. It's going to be ridiculous. Now it's actually quite funny because the Pan-Asians are going to lose a lot of income because I cancelled all my trade with them. Pretty much all my trade routes were going toward them. So their energy income must have severely dropped. I kind of wish that I'd gone into the diplomacy tab and seen exactly how badly that affected them. That would have been quite hilarious because you can see how much energy income they are getting by going on to the diplomacy tab. Going to fortify until healed that battle suit. Same with that one. The Centurion. Going to fortify that for now. Get that trade convoy underway. But before I continue with any more military movement or even more trade convoy deployment, I'm actually going to leave it here because unfortunately it has been my time. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this one. Sorry about all of the rerouting of the trade routes, but I can't really do it any quicker than I have been. Our war with the Pan-Asians should be over quite promptly in the next episode, so I wouldn't be surprised if the next episode was the last. But in the meantime, guys, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.